We'll begin with first question, a very basic one. GST is a simplified tax structure. Justify the statement. I believe, yeah, you guys can help me out with this one. Is GST a simplified tax structure, first of all? Somebody, come on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Nina. So, yeah, so understand that previously you all would have heard a lot about it. You will all be aware of it that previously there were so many laws when it came. There was VAT, there was service tax, there was excise duty. There were different laws, different compliances, different officers whom you have to approach to. So it basically uh, was we were all around the place. What GST did was it consolidated a lot of things. It brought together all the laws and created a unified market for India. So that is why it created a kind of it made tax very easy. So definitely GST is a very simplified tax structure in comparison to what was there earlier. Again, it also brought in certain classifications. So many goods and all, we brought in HS and SAC. So all of that also was brought in with GST, in which each goods got a specific identity. So that brought in a easier way of understanding how things work under the GST regime. We'll go through the answer. GST is definitely a simplified tax structure. The statement is justified. Simpler tax regime with fewer exemptions, along with reduction in multiplicity of taxes under GST, has led to simplification and uniformity in tax structure. So, to justify again, like we said, there are so many taxes which were subsumed, multiple taxes were levied, tax on tax was also being levied. So all that was controlled, brought in, and GST very simply it brought out CGST, SGST, IGST in compensation to all the other taxes being already levied. All right. The uniformity in laws, uniform across the nation, you have the same law for the all the goods and services. So previously it used to happen that certain goods will be 5% chargeable in Tamil Nadu. The same product when you go 4 hours away in Bangalore, that would be 12% chargeable. So GST brought in a place where it brought everywhere you are going to have the same laws, same procedure, same way you are going to deal with everything. So the uniformity in laws, procedure, and tax rate across the country makes doing business easier. Definitely, common system of classification of goods and services ensures certainty in tax administration across India. So we took a multiple point focal in simplifying GST, simplifying tax through GST, which was one, how is that tax being levied? How many taxes are we seeing? We took an entire bundle and we say that, okay, now GST is only being levied in comparison to the previous structure. Then we are looking at what are the forms, are we at par with any other place within the same country? Yes, definitely somebody who's sitting in Kanyakumari will be doing something at par with somebody working in Nagaland. Of course, certain state-wise, very few different exemptions are there, but otherwise it's all the same. Then the assessment. Now, tax administration, what is being done anywhere at all, can simply be said that this is the law. We can take precedence from anywhere across the country. So that this way, GST is simplified tax to a good deal. Okay, this one should be good. Explain composite supply and mixed supply. Then there's a lot of question after that. But somebody, can you explain me what is composite supply and what is mixed supply? Anybody at all?
Composite supply is where the two or more supplies are grouped naturally.
Perfect. Then
And mixed supply is and where there is a principal supply in it.
in mixed supply or composite one?
Composite supply, sir.
Okay. And then what is mixed supply then?
Mixed supplies where there are two or more supplies, but they are not naturally bundled. And the higher there should be a common rate for the two or more supplies.
Perfect. So, nicely put. I'll start with composite supply. First of all, both composite and mixed has to have one essential component. That is, there has to be two or more goods and services which are being provided. All right. So, two or more goods or services we are selling, all right, for one price, all right, in which, out of which, one of them will be the principal supply. So that is going to take prominence. Example, you are selling a TV, okay? Along with that, you are giving warranty. That was within 1 year, whenever you come, we'll give you free service and all of that. So you are giving one product, TV, then you are also giving warranty services, all right? You're clubbing it together and you are taking, say, 50,000 rupees from the customer, all right? So here, the warranty, will it sustain without the TV? Suppose you are not buying the TV and you're like, okay, I'll just buy the warranty. I don't need the TV. Just give me warranty. It is not going to make any sense at all, right? So composite supply is a structure where one of them will be the principal supply that holds prominence. All right. And in that, the rate of tax, what we'll be considering will be the rate of tax of that principal supply. If it is 5%, then even the other products also will be charged at 5% only. So this is at 28%, but the other products are ideally to be charged at 5%. Even then, you will have to add 28% GST only on that. All right. So this is the essence of composite supply. Mixed supply again has a similar concept where two or more goods and services are bundled together for one price, and but here there is no principal supply. Each of them is having a that I'm so sorry. Sorry. So each of them will have a distinctive feature. It is not dependent on the other product. Say toothbrush and toothpaste are being sold together for 100 rupees. All right. Now, can you say that without toothbrush there is no use of toothpaste at all?
No, sir.
Or say toothpaste is nothing without toothbrush? Nothing like that. You can actually use of both of them individually as well. So when both of them are being sold, at that point of time there is no principal supply, and that's why and then it is a mixed supply. So multiple goods being sold together for one price, where uh, which is not a composite supply, then it is a mixed supply. Here, the rate of tax will be the highest rate of tax amongst the goods and services being sold. So between one is 15%, 5%, another is 12%, so 12% rate shall be charged. So this is the basic essence of composite supply. All right. I'll proceed with the question again. Now, if a trader launches a package sales for marriage containing double bed, refrigerator, washing machine, wooden wardrobe at a single rate. Okay, perfect. They are basically helping you set up the house itself along with marriage. So at a single rate, he is issuing invoice showing value of each good separately. Whether this is the case of mixed supply or composite supply, which of these can you explain? Can any of you tell me ki this is now somebody is giving a married couple a combo pack. I'll give you double bed, refrigerator, washing machine, wooden wardrobe, etc., etc. Okay, and I will be charging say 2 lakh rupees to you. All right. In the invoice, I'll be giving the breakup of each of the products and all of it and value along with that. Now, here 2 lakh rupees I'm telling and I'm telling it. Is this composite supply or is this mixed supply? You are having double bed, refrigerator, etc. Anyone? Guys who are not answering, let me tell you one thing. It is good to be wrong now than to be wrong in exam. So please, I would in fact insist that be wrong if you must be blatantly wrong. But yeah, try and give me your opinion. Yeah, Neil.
Okay, so all these goods do not seem to go together. Like they are very different in nature. So I don't think you can either make it a composite or mixed supply. And even he's issuing the invoice separately. So I don't think it falls under either.
Here again, I'll like to correct you. First of all, coming back to this thing, composite supply again, when goods are going together like TV and warranty, they have to go together, and that's why we are charging one price and then we are buying it. Mixed supply also, suppose I can, it need not be together. I can sell something like I'll sell a water bottle and a bag. Now, do they go together?
No,
No,
sir.
not really.
Not really. Now, I am selling a water bottle and bag together for one price only. All right, I'll be taking say 500 rupees for that. Now, in that case, will that be a composite or mixed? It is not composite because none of them is a principal supply. All right, bag is
Yes.
not dependent on the bottle. The bottle is not dependent on the bag. All right,
Yes.
both are having their own individual essence. But
Hmm.
since I'm selling it, then it is a case of mixed supply because two products are being sold together for one price. Then it shall form part of your mixed supply definition. Definitely, again, it will come. Why does this? I'll tell that I'll sell polish remover and mobile phone case. All
Mhm.
right. So both of them I'm selling for say 100 bucks. So both of them are different products only, but since they are being sold for one price, for one consolidated price, then it is a concept of mixed supply. Whichever will incur the highest rate of tax, that tax rate shall be levied. Understandable?
Yes, sir.
Now, since you told me that they do not go together, they can come in separately as well. So, package sales for marriage, there is double bed, refrigerator, washing machine, wooden wardrobe. In one manner, if I see, everything will come within a house. But no, since none of them are dependent on each other, I can close my eyes and say this is not a composite supply.
Correct. Yeah.
Now, tell me whether is this a case of mixed supply or not, and why?
There are separate invoices, right? So,
He's issuing one invoice only.
sorry, the value is showing separately, is what I meant. Invoice is
Perfectly,
one. Yeah,
perfectly
value is showing
put, Neil.
separately, is what I
Very well
wanted to
done.
say. Yeah.
So you had given the right answer at the start, but the approach was wrong towards mixed supply itself.
Yeah.
All right. So understand, both composite and mixed supply has one specific thing. Both of them are sold at one price. All right. When I told TV with warranty was sold, it was sold for 50,000 rupees. All right. In the invoice, had we written television at 45,000, warranty at 5,000, total 50,000, then even that is not considered as a composite supply at all. The entire crux is that there has to be two or more products and there has to be only one price. Are we clear? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Composite supply also will have a nature. Just one second. Sorry. Okay. Now, I would much rather prefer if it is being told over here, but yeah, sorry. So, composite supply or mixed supply, they have a nature where multiple uh, goods or services are being rendered, where for one price alone. But for all other stuff, when you are giving breakup of each item separately, then you are supposed to charge at the respective rate. All right, we'll have a look at the answer. Composite supply comprises of two or more taxable supplies of goods or services or both or any combination which are naturally bundled and supplied in conjunction with each other in the ordinary course of business. What does supplied in conjunction with each other? Both of them are so related. They are intertwined and sold. So the entire nature of TV and warranty is ki both will come together. All right. Out of which one is a principal supply. So they are sold together, out of which one is a principal, so it is composite supply. Mixed supply means two or more individual supplies of goods or services or any combination made in conjunction with each other by a taxable person for a single price, where such supply do not constitute a composite supply. Again, same thing what I've already been speaking about, two or more individual supplies in conjunction. Conjunction we basically read in English when there is and, sold together. So when we are telling that both of those goods, 2 or 5 or 10, whatever it is, all of them are sold together, but for a single price. When there is single price involved, then it can be either composite or mixed. But if it is not composite, if there is no principal supply, then it shall be a mixed supply. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Now, items such as double bed, refrigerator, are not naturally bundled, and also the invoice for the supply shows separate value of each item. That is, package is not supplied for a single price. Therefore, supply of such items as a package will neither constitute a composite nor a mixed supply. Thus, the various items of the package will be treated as being supplied individually. Yeah, here, very important. Question specifies that various items are supplied at a single rate. The single rate is constituted as a single rate of tax. It is given here. Even otherwise, if it was not given also, remember, if the invoice is showing the value of each good separately, then again it is clearly you're supplying each goods individually. Proceeding with the next one. Mrs. Chand is a manufacturer of paper products having factory at Pune, which is in Maharashtra. Mrs. Kela and Mrs. Bela of Mumbai are appointed as agents to sell the products on behalf of Mrs. Chand, with the condition that both of them guarantee the realization of payment from buyers. Both Mrs. Kela and Mrs. Bela provide short-term borrowing facilities to buyers for timely payment of dues against supplies made to them, and for this they charge interest from the ultimate buyer, while Mrs. Kela raises invoices in the name of Mrs. Chand. So Kela is giving invoices of Mrs. Chand only, and Bela is raising the invoice in his own name. In light of provisions contained in para 3 of Schedule 1 of CGST Act, kindly explain the treatment of interest charged by Mrs. Kela and Mrs. Bela. Now tell me here, what are we specifically looking at? Like, if anybody is aware of para 3 of Schedule 1, let me know. If not also, at least looking at the question, tell me what rings your bell over here. What kind of product or services are being given? Just give me a start. I'll carry on from there. That's okay.
Sir, Schedule 1 deals with the without consideration part.
Perfect. So what is
so
to be
here,
treated as a supply without consideration? Yeah, then.
So here we are talking about a delicate agent.
Perfect. This is what I actually wanted to hear. Del Credit agent, yes.
Who provides protection to the
Provides basically borrowing facility to the buyer. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So when the agent, delicate agent, raises the invoice in his own name, that the interest is liable for GST. Otherwise, it is not.
Okay. Okay. Perfectly put. Nicely put by Nana. I'll come one by one on it. All right. Para 3, Schedule 1 of the CGST Act. Basically, Schedule 1 refers to supplies made without made without consideration. All right. So when no amount is payable from Bela or Kela to Mrs. Chand also, even then we are supposed to treat it as supply, even though they are not paying any amount, since it is coming under Schedule 1. Now, coming ahead of it, we need to see that this is agency services. This is para 3 refers to agent services. Any goods which are supplied from principal to agent, or anything supplied from agent to principal, shall be considered as supply only. All right. So that is what para 3 refers to. Now, we are not stopping here. Here we are referring to del creder agent. Now, how is del creder agent different from a normal agent? Is that these guys will be giving borrowing facility to the buyer. So suppose I am an agent of say Veranda. All right. Now, uh, say Sumera has to pay fees. All right. At this point of time, where Veranda is going to give services, say CA classes services to Sumera, but here again, what is going to happen is that Sumera will say that she needs some time to make the payment. At that point of time, I will be guaranteeing to Veranda that yes, Sumera will pay the amount. Now, when the transaction is happening in an indirect manner, I am actually giving loan services to Sumera. For that, I will charge interest. So the del creder facility basically completely covers in a manner that you are additionally giving loan services to the buyer. All right. Now, before proceeding, we know this is del credit services and all of that. Now we need to understand which of them, so Kela and Bala, which of them will be considered as an agent and which of them will not be considered as an agent. All right, as per the rules. Now, what is the differentiating factor here? Mrs. Kela is giving the invoice in the name of Mrs. Chand, in the name of principal only. Whereas Mrs. Bela is issuing invoice in the name of its own, Mrs. Bela itself. All right. Now, the rule says that when the agent is issuing invoice in its own name, when say I am the agent, I am issuing the invoice to Sumera. So at that point of time, I am like giving, I am a pure, I'll be treated as an agent. I am the coming under the parameters of agent, and I will be charging GST on the entire amount, including the interest component being received. Simple example, suppose I am buying a good, say from Veranda at 100. Suppose we are dealing in goods. I am buying it from Veranda at 100 rupees. All right. For the amount, the borrowing facility which I'm giving, I'll be charging say 120 rupees to Sumera. All right. So I will be charging it entirely on the 120 component. I'll charge GST and collect it. Suppose I was not doing any of it. The invoice is directly going from Veranda to Sumera. So here Veranda will be charging 100 rupees only to Sumera. But I need to receive my interest portion, right? Because boss, you took time to pay, and I am going to need that whatever credit facility I have extended. So that 20 rupees I will directly charge it to Sumera and collect from her, which is in the nature of interest on which GST will not be chargeable. Okay, might be slightly confusing. We'll read it with the provisions as well so that you can understand in depth. Mrs. Kela and Mrs. Bela are del creditor agents of Mrs. Chand as they guarantee the payment to supplier. A DCA falls under the ambit of agent under para 3. Remember, we are considering schedule 1, para 3. All right. They are coming under the ambit of agent if the invoice for supply of goods is issued by the DCA in its own name. Now close your eyes and just project it in a manner where the agent is like a branch. Just for example, all right. So there is the factory which is Chan, then it is coming to say Kela, all right, which is one branch, all right, and that branch is selling. In that component itself, it is a pure play agent services, even if there is no consideration, even then. So when say who was the one who charged the invoice? Yeah, Bela. Now, say Mrs. Bela, when they are charging and collecting GST from the customer, all right, they are doing in their own name, in the name of Mrs. Bela, all right. So the second leg of the transaction is chargeable to GST. Then the first leg as well is to be considered under Schedule 1. Input also should be there, and that is why it is pure agent, it is agent services as per Schedule 1. Guys, anybody not able to follow till here, please let me know. I'll explain in a slightly different manner. Everyone is following?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So here again, I'll repeat. Del creditor agent, suppose they are selling the product and invoicing in their own name. At that point of time, what is going to happen? He is he's coming under the ambit of agent, and GST is leviable on the entire amount which he is collecting from the customer. All right, but okay, just to complete. However, if the invoice for supply of goods is issued by the supplier to the customer, either himself or through DCA, the agent DCA is not an agent in terms of para 3 of Schedule 1. So here again, suppose the middleman, Mrs. Kela, he is telling, boss, I don't want to issue all that invoices in my name and all. Why should I do all of that? Here, I will take your invoice and I'll give it to the customer. I'm taking your invoice and I'm giving it to the customer. That customer will make the payment to you, how much ever is due. For that specific small amount, whatever I'm giving additional services to him of credit facility, for that I will charge a separate invoice. So there I am not an agent, I'll be acting as a principal. So for that interest amount, I am giving on my account only. And that's why there I will not be treated as an agent. I'll be basically issuing an invoice of my own, and that's why I will not fall under the ambit of agent services. So again, summing it up, Mrs. Bela is an agent because they are issuing invoice in their own name. Mrs. Kela is not an agent because they are issuing the supplier's invoice itself. All right. Where the DCA is not an agent under para 3 of Schedule 1, the temporary short-term loan being provided by DCA to the buyer is a supply of services by the DCA to the recipient on principal to principal basis, and therefore it is an independent supply, which is again interest amount is exempt from taxes. That's why interest charged by Mrs. Kela is an independent supply and it is exempt from taxes. However, where DCA is agent, then temporary short-term credit provided by DCA to the buyer no longer retains its character of an independent supply, and it is subsumed in the supply of goods by the DCA to the recipient. Hence, the value of interest charged for such credit is included in value of supply to the recipient, and Bela will charge at the total amount 120 rupees on the goods which it is supplying to the customer. I'll submit of in a small Excel. You can see my entire screen. Yes. You all can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. We will just see at supplier. All right. DCA. I'm going to call it a DCA and customer. Okay. Supplier is manufacturing something for 1,000 rupees. All right. Then He is selling it through the agent to the customer. Now customer is supposed to pay 1,000, but since they are delaying it, say by 1 or 2 months, so they will be paying 1,100. All right. Overall, the customer is going to pay 1,100. Supplier is going to receive 1,000 rupees in whichever manner. All right. Now, suppose this DCA is charging the invoice in its own name. All right. What they'll be collecting is 1,100 plus say GST at 18%, total of 1,298 they'll be collecting it. All right. Now, in this case, since they have charged in their own name, where is their purchase? The supplier gave it to them at free of cost. All right. Just to sell it to the customer. When they have to pay that amount, 1,000 rupees to the supplier, then there again, this is part of Schedule 1. Supplies made without consideration. Okay, even without consideration, where you have to treat it as a supply. All right. So here again, you will have to treat it as a supply and charge 18% GST, say, because of the same rate into, sorry. So here the input will go from 1180, input 180 rupees input will go to DCA, and it will be adjusted against the output payable of 198, 18 rupees he'll be paying. All right. Whereas customer cost is again 1100 only. This is the case of Mrs. Bela, I think. Okay. In the same of Mrs. Kela, here what happens is supplier is charging 1,000 and they'll be selling at 180 only. All right. Yes, just to correct it, customer will be paying 1298. Here again 1298. All right. So customer has to pay 1298. All right. So what here will happen? DC is telling boss, I can't issue the invoice what you are raising. For whatever I am rendering, that I'll give you. So the supplier's invoice will directly go to the customer, who will pay that amount. Out of 1298 minus 1180, he'll pay to the supplier itself. This 118 should ideally, okay, not entirely 118. Okay, this 118 ideally should be received by the DCA. Here, DCA will tell boss, okay, since I am giving you credit facility, I need to be compensated. This guy raised an invoice on you. Here, for the services I rendered additionally, my charges are say 118, give it to me. And DCA will collect that amount from the customer. Are we clear? Guys?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I believe yes. For Mrs. Bela, whatever is the interest charge, that also will be included in supply value, and for Mrs. Kela, it shall be treated as exempt. Proceeding to the next one. That's a great one. List down the activities or transactions specified under Schedule 3 of the GST Act as non-supplies or negative list. This is basically what you guys will be answering. Tell me. Negative list. Whatever you guys are aware of. Yes.
Actionable claims like betting, gambling, and lottery.
Actionable claim other than betting.
Other than,
gambling.
sorry, betting,
Okay.
gambling, and lottery.
Okay, then
Services of employee to the employer.
perfect. Employer-employee relationship. Yes. Then come on, that's two. We don't remember, or we are not able to recollect, is it?
Funeral services provided.
Perfect, perfectly put. Yes. Funeral, crematorium, etc. services. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Functions of members of parliament, members of legislature.
Very nice. Yes.
Services by any court or tribunal.
Perfectly put. Yes, definitely it is not includable. There's one basic one. Sale of land.
Sale of any land or building after receiving the completion certificate.
Perfect. Okay. And have a quick look at what all there are. We can maybe discuss it out. So what all is included in negative list schedule 3 are as follows. One, employer-employee relationship. Imagine somebody is salaried and they're like, hey boss, today's salary day, you need to pay me 10,000. Okay, here I am charging 180 rupees, 1,800 rupees GST as well. So give me 11,800. Again, each employee and all, it's not going to be logical. It's an employer-employee relationship. You're paying salary and no GST is leviable. It is perfectly under Schedule 3. All right. Next one. Services by court or tribunal. The court, again, under the law, if they are giving whatever services they are giving, all of them, they are forming part of negative list. Functions performed by members of parliament, members of state legislature, panchayats, municipalities, and local authorities. So basically, all of these are people who are elected by us to work for the people. All right. So any of those functions, when any of those MPs, MLA, etc., they are working any functions which are being designated to them. So all of them also will be part of the negative list. Duties performed by any person who holds any post in pursuance of the provisions of constitution. If the constitution is asked, means giving any duties to any person at all, any post, say president, prime minister, whatever it is, all of them, whatever they are doing at that point of time, they are going to be treated under negative list itself. All right, following. So just to sum it up until now, employer, employee, all right. Since we are telling employer, employee, then employees of the government, the head employees, which is members of parliament, MLA, then panchayat, municipal corporation, local authorities. Then again, anybody holding any post as per the constitution. So all of these, then any court or tribunal is providing services, that is also negative list. Apart from that, duties performed by any person as a chairperson or member or director in a body established by central government or state government who is not deemed as an employee before the commencement of this clause. It's a detailed one. Just to submit for you that some person in a body which is established by the central government or state government, all right? How do I say? Give me an example of a body established by central government or state government. Anybody, can you give me? Anybody? Okay, surprising, but let us just say the, sorry, Mansi. Okay. Okay. Nana, anything from you?
So RBI said.
Perfect. RBI is there. I'll give you one basic example. ICAI,
Yes.
CA Institute. That is also a body which has been established by the government only. Now, anybody who's a chairperson or member, etc., on that, they are not an employee of that body. All right. But when they are performing any duties, then that shall be form part of your schedule 3. It is under the negative list. All right. Services of funeral, burial, crematorium or mortuary, including transportation of the deceased. So basically, whoever is dead, from taking the body till funeral and all of that processes will also form part of negative list. Sale of land, again, first, land is definitely under negative list. Never is it going to be coming under this. And subject to paragraph 5b of schedule 2, sale of building. Now what is paragraph 5b of schedule 2? Like Nana was pointing out, that if now Okay, what is exempt? What is coming under negative list? First, we'll discuss. If you are buying a house after completion certificate is already issued, and or you are buying a house after first occupation has already been done, then it is under negative list. Basically, you are taking a completed property and you are getting it. All right. What is not includable, where any part of advance is paid before the completion certificate is issued. Okay, where the flat or house or whatever it is or building, it is under construction and you have bought it at that point of time itself, then it is forming part of schedule 2, then GST and all of that will follow. But if you are buying an already built building, in that case it shall come under negative list, and of course no GST. Actionable claims other than lottery, betting, gambling. Can anybody give me an example of a actionable claim other than lottery, betting, and gambling? What is an actionable claim? Okay, good. Okay, actionable claim. If I'll just sum it up for you, okay. A claim which will materialize on the event of happening, something happening. All right.
So insurance claim, if you could say.
Insurance claim is a actionable claim. Then you have suppose you're giving you are being a guarantor. Okay, you are telling that a bank that boss you can give loan to my friend. All right, to my friend, and I am giving a guarantee in case that person is not paying, I'll pay. All right. So as of now, you don't have any liability. Current date, you do not have any liability at all. In the contingent event that your friend will not pay the amount, all right. In that case, say Harish, you gave a guarantee for Harish. Now, in an event where Harish does not pay the amount, only then the bank come and get that collected from you. So it is a claim which has not really materialized, but it shall materialize upon the happening of any event only. This is a very short version of what I'm telling you. So again, if you look at lottery, betting, gambling also, they also, why are they actionable claims? Because in that also same concept applies. You are buying a ticket, okay, you may not win. On the happening of any event only then it will decide the outcome, whether you're winning or not. So that is a actionable claim. So apart from lottery, betting, gambling, etc., any other actionable claim that is forming part of negative list, it shall not be subjected to GST. Are we able to understand what is actionable claim? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Very clearly? So I think I can ask you one small thing to do. Okay, after the class, just have a look at what is the definition of an actionable claim. You can Google it. That's okay. Or I think it is there on the book as well. So just look at it, read each word, what value it is, and then probably you may be able to appreciate what does it actually mean. I gave you a very small example of a guarantee, of an insurance claim, etc. and all. But there are a lot of other actionable claims, and all of them are forming part of negative list. So again, to sum up, what is your negative list? Employer-employee relationship, then tribunal or court giving any services at all, MP, MLA, panchayat, municipal body, all of those members, when they are performing their duties, then it is not taxable. Then somebody is holding a post and performing some duty on their appointment uh, under the constitution, then that is again negative list. Then a body has been created by the central government or state government. There is a member chairperson who is not an employee, but they are performing some duty for that statutory body. So for that again, it will be negative list. You on that, when you're transporting funeral, burial, etc., whatever you're doing, on that negative list, no taxes leviable. Sale of land, definitely close your eyes and no GST, negative list. It should be the first point coming to your mouth. Then sale of building after completion certificate. Remember, a house which is already made, there's a difference. If it is under process and you're paying it, then GST leviable. If it is made already, you are taking a final product after completion certificate, then it is negative list. The last one, actionable claims other than lottery. So lottery, betting, gambling, 100% it is tax is leviable. Apart from that, any other actionable claims, it is not leviable to GST.